What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing? What's up, Christian? How you been? What's up, Chris? How was your weekend? I'm gonna put this link in the other parts of the chat so we don't miss anyone. We'll start in 2 minutes. It's good to hear. Yeah, it was a great week. Good as well. Appreciate you asking. Chris, that looked fun based off the pictures you posted. I've never been to that area that you live in. Let's give it one more minute and we will get started. Okay. Anyone have any questions before we begin? I'm going to go over my setups. Any questions before we get started? There's only a couple people in here. I'm sure everyone's enjoying the weather. It's nice out by me. It's beautiful, actually. No questions? All right, I will jump into my setups. It says we only have 4 people in here. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but I hope we have more than that. What's up, William? How you doing? Maybe we should give it a minute or two before we get started so people don't miss out. Um, all right, let's go. So, first ticker I'm looking at this week, Roblox RBLX is the ticker. As you know, if you've been in the Discord for any amount of time, falling wedges are my favorite setup. Here we have a large wave 1, wave 2 falling wedge. We had the breakout. We had a nice bullish 821 EMA cross, and now we have another falling wedge. So this is one of my favorite setups. The breakout, another falling wedge right to the 786. So now we have a smaller degree wave 1 with a wave 2 pullback right to that 786. Now the EMAs are coiling, they're getting tighter, and we're setting up for a nice move. So over 89, right around 89.35, we'll get some confirmation on a breakout, and we should test the 1618, which is around 108. That's my price target. So obviously that's my final price target, but my first one is always the top of the wedge of 94.39 if we break this 89.35 level. Again, falling wedges are my favorite setup because of the great risk to reward. So if we enter here, stop loss is generally at the bottom of the falling wedge, right? So either here, or if you enter up here, you can always exit at 84.21, one of those. Let me make them red. Right, so it depends on how long. I would probably play a weekly or 2 weeks out, even 3 weeks out if you wanted to try and take advantage of the full upside here. But obviously, shorter time contracts have the best risk to reward. So, one of my top setups for the week. Any questions about this setup? What's up, Rhino? Okay, TSM, another quality setup. So, first of all, some significant upside from the lows. We were in a huge bull run. Now we're in some consolidation. It's normal. Take a look at the volume shelf, massive volume shelf. We're sitting right on top of it, and we're getting some nice consolidation here. Higher lows, lower highs. Really like this setup. EMAs are bullish on the daily. And we have a multiple top here, right? One rejection, two rejection, three, four, which was previous support. So this is an example of old support acting as a new resistance. So a break over this 121 level, we should see a retest of this high right here, which is 122. So that would be a first price target. And the next price target above is around 127.40. Let's take a look at the weekly. Take a look at the weekly MACD and the RSI. Definitely bullish. E21 EMAs are holding, so it's still uptrending. It's just a nice pullback in the overall trend. Right? If we take a fib from the low to the high, I'm just going from this low point. I'm assuming that we're above the 236 here. We're right at the 236 over the 382. So anything over the 0.5 on the overall trend, I think is still bullish. So definitely watching this this week for a massive break. Also, now that I'm looking at it, this might give us a huge cup and handle, right? Something like this. That is highly likely, I think, that we might see a big upside over 127. If we go over 127, which I think we will, if we get that break, right, that's the next target, 136. And then the highs, 142. So I think that's highly likely. Earnings are coming up, actually. So that's a major catalyst that can obviously affect this positively or negatively. But if it does have a good earnings, then it just helps it that much more. So be aware of earnings. Next up on the list is Walmart. So this is kind of a inverse head and shoulders. It's a little crooked, but I still like it, right? We have the left shoulder. We have the head. And we have the right shoulder, right? Left, head, right. We have the neckline, multiple rejections across the board. And here in the more frequent or in the recent data, we have some higher lows and lower highs. We're consolidating nicely. We just had an 821 EMA cross on the daily. So it's a bullish signal. and we are consolidating sideways. Right? If we go into the 2 hour, we're flagging. We just had a fake out before a potential breakout. Happens every single time, right? So this is a nice bull flag. Broke out to the downside, but held the lows. And I'm looking for a break over this 141.25 level to test that high candle of 142.58, and then over that 144.58, and so on. Really like this setup. Next up on my list is McDonald's. Take a look at this bull flag. That is a nice setup, or symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it. Same thing. Overall trend, right? We had that massive sideways consolidation flag breakout, and here we go again with another sideways consolidation flag. It's setting up very nicely. Let's put the magnet on. Right, so first it needs back over that line, which is 235.99. Then it needs back over the previous high of 236.23. So I think that would be my entry point, 236.23, the previous high, which is right on this trend line. And then it needs over 238.18, which is the all-time high level. Yeah, so this is setting up very nicely. Be aware, earnings are coming up July 28th, so it's in about 2 weeks. So definitely watch out for that. But again, 821 EMA cross, bullish signal. This looks very good. Elliott wave, we have wave A, B, C, D. So we could potentially see a wave E. It's possible. Maybe one more dip before moving back to the upside. We'll see what happens. Right, wave E usually bounces off the 0.5 or the 618. So in that case, a move to 232, 233 region would be the dip buy. Right, so right in this region would be the buy zone. Yep, I will look at those tickers right after I do these. But these are some of my favorite setups going into this week, so I just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of what I'm going to be looking at this week. There is a bunch of tickers here, but I like to have a little bit more. That way, throughout the week, I can start to narrow them down based on price action, see what's strong, see what's weak, and eliminate the things that are weak. Another one, Boeing. Boeing's very good. MACD, RSI, very low, starting to curl up. It's going to be bullish. We had that massive falling wedge breakout, and now again, falling wedge breakout. This is exactly like Roblox. Oh no, this is actually like which one was it? Yeah, Roblox, right? Falling wedge breakout, falling wedge. Falling wedge breakout, falling wedge. So very similar setups. 243 is my point where we're going to turn bullish. That's this resistance point right here. And by this time, if we break this 243 level, these EMAs should be fully crossed. MACD and the RSI should be turning upwards. So if we get another candle to the upside and a break through this 243, 244 level, I think this should run, and it should totally test 260, even all-time highs. Especially, travel is starting to get hot again. So I think this one's primed. Sure, no problem, White. Roku, another one that has seen a significant run, but I think we're ready to see a wave 5 back to the upside. So we had a massive falling wedge, wave 1 breakout, wave 2 consolidation, right? A, B, C. Wave 3 massive run right to the 618. Couldn't have been more perfect. And now wave 4 falling wedge, fake out before the breakout, pulled back right to the 382. High probability region of a reversal, and it's exactly what happened right off the EMA as well. And the wave 5 target, as you could see, is around 544. So it's going to be a little slower than a wave 3, right? It might be a little more jagged. But we should see a 5-wave sequence here, right to the final price target of 544. I'm also going to go over how to use the dashboard on this, and I'm going to release the video tonight. Let me just tell the people in the chat, just so I can answer any questions regarding the dashboard if you guys have. But yeah, Roku. This is what I'm thinking. Apple, unbelievable run up. So due. I mean, this consolidation was insane. Higher and higher lows, lower highs. Finally broke out 821 EMA bull cross to the upside, and now we are sitting right at the highs. So the previous high was around 145, and that's where we're sitting currently. Targets above. So I took the Fibonacci retracement and drew from the high to this low, and these are my targets above. If we take a look at the recent price action, right? I posted this a million times in the chat on Friday. We were getting tighter and tighter, right? Higher lows, lower highs. We had the cross. We had our volume come in, and we broke out to the upside. So now we're consolidating right at the highs. We are holding this level, this high, very well. So this is setting up for another move back to the upside. What's up, Omar? Hope everything's going well. You built pools and I'm concerned. Pool and it's not running continuance. What's going on, brother? I will cover QQQ in a bit. Let's go back over some more setups. Twilo, been posting this nonstop in the chat as well. Massive falling wedge break. We had our wave 3. We are in a wave 4. We are in an ABC wave 4, right? A, B, C, and now we are moving back to the upside. We just broke that 8 EMA on the daily, and I think we see a run up to around 437, which is the 618. And this is by taking wave 1 to wave 3 and a pullback to wave 4. Missed you guys too. Awesome. Happy you guys are back. But let's get it. This rejected right at the perfect spot, right? Previous resistance, previous support. So old support acting as a new resistance. It just makes sense. So now that we rejected this, we consolidate a little bit, we pull back a little bit. People take their profits right before the next run up. So it totally makes sense. I've seen it a million times, and we'll see it a million times more. So I think this is ready for the next run up to 437. HD played this last week, had a nice 100% gainer on that. Nice falling wedge, A, B, C, wave 4. Now we're currently in a wave 5 on the larger time frame, right? We just had this 821 EMA cross. We rejected right on the volume shelf. We rejected a little pullback, but we held the EMAs, and we're moving sideways a bit. So if we could break this high right here of 324.42, I think we test this next resistance point right here, a 328.60, and then over that, I think we test 345, which is the all-time high level. So HD, watching this for continuation. Yeah, HD was nice, especially because this one went green, red, about 40 to 50%, but the chart still was valid. So I never sold. right? This I always say, don't play off your profit and loss. Always just play the chart. If you're playing off your profit and loss, that means you were sizing too big. So always just play the chart. Chart's the only thing that matters. Um, Etsy, another one that I've been stressing or posting a ton in the chat because the setup looks great. We had a very nice sideways consolidation, lower highs, higher lows, nice breakout. We are in a bull trend for sure on this until we have a 1821 EMA cross to the downside. That would signify that we are starting to downtrend. But sideways consolidation and a pullback is normal. People are taking profits. So if I go on to the smaller time frame, let's go on the 1 hour. Here is the 1 hour on Etsy, right? We have a flag to the downside. We broke out, we retested, and I think we break out again back to the upside. Over this 0.5, 202, I'm looking for 216 as my first price target. Okay, so I really like this setup. Yeah, that's all I have to say for that one. Square, another one that looks great. Yep, I already covered Apple. I'm not sure if you were here or not, but I did cover Apple just before. I covered all these already, except SPY, QQQ, and IWM. So if you want to go back, take a look at those. This is obviously recorded and will be posted on YouTube. And I have these left to cover before I start some chart requests and some dashboard questions. I do have the dashboard pulled up, and I will cover that in a bit. Square. So on Etsy, would that be a cup and handle? Yeah, this would be. So from the low to the high, a cup and handle has to be over the 0.5 for it to be valid. So totally valid. Clean it up a bit. So, yep, definitely a cup and handle. Good eye. Square. Higher and higher lows, lower and lower highs. 821 EMA cross. We are in a upwards trend, but we are in some sideways consolidation. It's normal. People taking profits after a run up. It happens. We also rejected right at this region right here, which makes sense because we rejected right there previously. And here as well. So this is going to be a tough level to get over, but once it gets over, which obviously it's going to happen eventually, it's going to run to the highs. So really like this setup. Let's take a look at this shorter time frame if I see anything. Nothing really too special. I really like the daily trend on this one. The daily pattern. Overall looks good. So I'm watching this for a move over around 251. Tesla. Here we go again. I think Tesla is setting up for a massive move. Higher and higher lows, lower and lower highs. A, B, C, D, E. There was our wave E right to the 0.5. It couldn't have been any more perfect. On the smaller time frame, we have a inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, with a neckline, right? So I am looking at the 1 hour. I like the 1 hour. We have old support, resistance, support, and new resistance. So we need over 658. Over 658, we should test this level right here around 668, and then over there we should test around 697 to 700. So I'm thinking we see a run up. We literally bounced right off that 0.5 level. Couldn't have been any more perfect as for a wave E turnaround. So really like Tesla. I mean, take a look at this. We had higher and higher lows, lower highs, breakout, flag, pull back before moving higher. So a fake out before the breakout happens every time. PDD I included on here because I know a lot of people are interested in this, and I still think it looks pretty good. Let's go over the weekly. So take a look at the MACD and the RSI. They do look very low, and they totally can start to move back to the upside. We are starting to see some decent sideways consolidation that looks sort of bullish. Right, we are holding above this previous level. Right, we have a triple top right here. So anything over 98, 96, still bullish to me. The bull trades cloud is signifying that it's in a downtrend, which it totally is. But I'm thinking here that we see a massive cup and handle as well, right? Something like that. This is due for a move back to the upside. This is just a overall pullback in the overall trend, right? So if I take the fib, right? So we are right underneath the 0.5. So ideally we need back over this 114 level, which we're right there. So I mean, if we get back over it this week and see a breakout, this would be a very nice reversal. Yeah, plus a lot of people need to get revenge. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this up to you guys. It's starting to look pretty decent. This bottom trend line, it did bounce right off of it, right? So 1 bounce, 2 bounce, and 3. So I just wanted to cover that just to put this on your guys' watch list. Yeah. Next, Chewy. Chewy looks very good, right? Higher and higher lows, and we just broke out past this previous candle. Take a look at this volume shelf. Definitely tough to get over that, and we reached it. Next major level that it needs is 87.83, right? We have a multiple top here as well as old support. So old support became new resistance. And over that level, next target is 92.52 and around 95. So these are my targets above 87.83. Another great setup. Spot. So spot, it does have a massive head and shoulders, right? We have a left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. So that is a bearish sign, but in the shorter period of data, we have some higher lows and lower highs. So we totally can get a breakout to the upside. So that's what I'm watching for this. This looks good. I mean, I like this setup. Lower highs and higher lows is a great signal that we're going to see a nice uptrend or a breakout. So, I mean, if this breaks over 280, it's totally going to test 300 and break higher. So I really like that. Of course, Daft. Appreciate you stopping by. Let's go over SPY. Okay. So a little confusing. Let me clean this up a little bit. Okay. So originally my wave 1 was here. Right? We had a 5-wave sequence. We had an A, B, C. Wave 1. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Wave 4 crossed below, but it's allowed because it was a complex correction. And wave 5. Let's see where this is measured. Okay, so that's from this wave 2. Okay. So my final price target on this from the previous 5-wave sequence, let's see where this is measured from. Yeah, so this is measured from the low. Right, so it took the fib retracement all the way up to here, which is the wave 3, um, and a back down. The 618 is right around 448. So that's the final price target. Yeah, I gotta redo this chart. It's a little sloppy, and it's gonna take me a little bit to redo it, but I will redo it and post it in the chat for you guys. Anyone have any questions regarding levels and stuff? I do think we see some more upside. I mean, we are in a huge bull run. We just had some nice consolidation, right? This was a pretty decent amount of time moving sideways from about April 16th to June 18th. So it's about 3 months of sideways consolidation that we experienced. And now we are getting higher and higher lows. So I think we still continue to run. QQQ is right at my price target. Okay, wave 1, wave 2. We just had a wave 3. This could be the wave 4 that we just experienced. If that is the wave 4, final price target's 380. Okay, again, we did have consolidation from February 16th to around May 12th. So a couple months of consolidation. We should see way more upside. I think we have 380 in the tank, 388, even 400. We'll see what happens. Okay. IWM, I think this is setting up very nicely. Ton of consolidation. This is so due for an explosive move. Right? Long consolidation. Thought we were getting the breakout, but we pulled back into the triangle. Now we're trying to break above. So, I mean, if we can get back over right around this 230 level, we will test this 234 level and then break out. So it's just totally due for a run. I do have a ton of small cap stocks in my long-term portfolio because I am expecting a run in this. It's so due. Yep, this is the most it's consolidated since 2019. Okay, what were those tickers that you requested? ADSK. Oh yeah, this was another one that I really liked. So higher and higher lows, lower and lower highs. As you can see, it's bouncing off this trend line. So this is old resistance becoming a new support. It's consolidating nicely. It's not making lower lows, which is a bullish sign. It's holding the EMAs very well. So if it can break over, let's see, right around that level, 301, 300. It's got 304 in the tank, and then it's got 316 and all-time highs. So, I mean, this is a great setup. I'm going to add this to my watch list just to watch. Looks great. I'm not sure how liquid the stock is or options are on this, as I don't really trade it too often. But if it's nice, it could make for a nice play. Coop. Whoops. Okay. Coop. So this kind of looks like a potentially inverse head and shoulders. All right, we have the left shoulder, the head, and potentially a right shoulder, right? With a neckline across the board, right? We rejected here, which was old support, old support, old support, old support, old support. And we rejected here just again. So sideways consolidation here, possibly create a flag, right? Something like that. and break out to the upside. Right, also kind of looks a little circle, a little cup and handle, which means we would need to stay over the 0.5, which makes sense for a pullback right down to here, which is higher than the left shoulder. So that would be a bullish signal. We can even experience a falling wedge right down to around there. So maybe some sideways consolidation, that would be healthy before moving and breaking over 281. 281 is the trigger. If you want to be safe, 283.38. But 281 is this level right here. So that looks good. I like it. MDP. Okay. So just off the bat, taking a look, we have this trend line from around November of last year holding very well. So it would make sense that this continues to move sideways and retest this line right in time for earnings. But if you want levels, right, that resistance point right there, 43, and of course the all-time high level, or not the all-time high, the most recent high, 43.98. But it is holding this low nicely, right? So if this can move sideways a little bit, bounce off this trend line because it is respecting it multiple times, right? Bounced, bounced again here. So you would just assume that it would move sideways until we retest that trend line and move higher. Right? This is the name of the game. Patience, patience, patience. Don't trade unless the setup is there. So there's quality setups all over. All these tickers have good setups. So always wait for a good setup. There's always a good setup somewhere, and you just have to wait for it. What else do you guys want to see? Should I cover the dashboard? You guys want to see the dashboard live before I release the video later? Let me know if you want to see that, or if you just want to watch the video later. The video is going to be quick. I mean, there's really not much to cover. It's going to be a couple minutes. But let me know if you have any questions right now. HD I went over. Just go back in the video. Any questions or tickers that you want me to go over? I really like answering questions as opposed to tickers. That way I can help you improve in the long term. So please ask. This is like a free one-on-one session since we only have 15 people in here. No problem, William. SLV. Haven't looked at this in a long time. Oh, I'll take a look at pool right after this. So SLV, I mean, just taking a look right here, right? We have that trend. I mean, you could do that, but this is an outstanding candle. I'm not sure what happened here. There's probably some news or something. But we're on the daily. MACD looks good. RSI is decent. We have a low here, and then we have a higher low here. So that's a good sign. If we can continue to move sideways and not make a new low, then I would consider it bullish. So you need to hold over around this 2384 level, which is makes sense, right? Because it's previous resistance, old support. So, but it really needs to be bullish back over this high right here, right? 2469, right over that level. If it triggers that, it does have a gap to fill, right, to this 2520 region. So yeah, that needs 2469 to be bullish in my opinion. What makes a put order bullish on the dashboard? So that's a good question. If someone sells a put on the bid, that means they're trying to get rid of it quickly. They're probably losing faith in it. They're selling it for less money as opposed to on the ask, right? They're selling it for a lower price, meaning they want to get out of their position. So they're trying to get out of it quickly. So that's a bullish signal. Good question. DAL. Let's check it out. So we have that trend line. We have that trend line. We do have this resistance point right here, as well as All right, so to be bullish, in my opinion, right, so first we need to clear this level, right? We have a rejection, old support, old support, old support, old support. So it's very likely that this could reject and move back to the downside. So totally needs over this 43.76 level first. Over that level, as you can see, the volume shelf starts to get larger right in this region. It's going to need a break. I mean, that's going to act as some resistance, right? We have multiple support, support, as well as, yep, support, support. So 44.91 right in that region is going to act as a new level. Ideally, I'd wait for 821 EMA cross and a breakout of this white trend line. Then I would consider it. But the MACD looks decent. It does have earnings, so this can totally influence it. Not sure why it just says message retracted. Yeah, but DAL looks decent. But I feel like there are way better setups than this. Volume super low, right? Nothing really too special on this. Right? Volume for the last few months actually has been below the average. So nothing too special here. A, B, and B. Let's check it out. Yep. So I was going to add this to my watch list, but I felt like there were better setups available. Um, Over 154.70, which is this multiple top, it's totally going to run. It has seen some significant downside. Airbnbs have been probably packed because I feel like we're in like the golden 20s again, the roaring 20s. Everyone's going away. I mean, they don't have earnings until July 11th. No, not July 11th. June. I don't know when that is. September 1st. Whatever. But over 154.70, I think this runs, right? We're obviously going to have to break this candle, which is around 157. And the next level above is 161 and then 164. This is what I use on the dashboard, right? This symbol I look for calls. So I only play to the upside. I just have found more success in my trading career, um, playing one direction and to the upside, right? That's the market's meant to move to the upside. It moves to the upside in the long term. So that's just what I've done and what I've stuck to. Um, so I look for calls, I look for sweeps, and I look for greater than 250,000 as well as bullish sentiment. Um, this gives me big orders, so looking for the whales that are bullish on calls, um, and sweeps. Sweeps are trades that they're trying to get filled pretty quickly, as they sweep multiple exchanges to get the quickest order or best fill. And then looking at this, I'll leave this up during the day on one of my screens. And what I look for is the first thing I look for, right? Obviously the ticker. Next, I look at the expiration. And then I'm looking for out of the money sweeps. So this person bought a 140 strike, but the price is 145. So this is an in the money call. Yeah, it's bullish, but they're not indicating a large move in the near future. Um, I'm looking for a weekly call that's out of the money. That's going to be someone that's very bullish and they're expecting a move very soon. So, referring to that, last week, space was something that caught my eye. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Um, this one, right? So, this contract I spotted, I alerted it to the group. Someone bought a 75 call for 820, so a month out, and they expect the stock to almost double. They put $265,000 into that, and that was right before the move happened. So someone knows something, right? That was right before this massive candle. Um, I'm pretty sure it was literally right around this level. Um, let's see, 120. Yeah, so they bought it actually right around here. Um, where's my arrow? Here we go. Right around here, they bought it. 75 call. And from 46, right around this region, it spiked up all the way to 52. Those contracts went up over 300%. Um, and along with the chart, I mean, along with the options that are signaled on here, it's always good to take a look at the chart. We have a multiple bottom, right? One bottom, two bottom, three bottom. So this is a strong support and a strong candle with volume right off the bottom. So that signaled a massive spike to the upside. And that's what caught my eye on the 75 call, as well as the other bullish flow that was coming in, right? All out of the money calls with big money coming in. So that's another great example of what I look for. Um, this page is another great page to look at for overall sentiment. For example, let's say you wanted to play QQQ. Take a look at the size or the volume of the contracts, right? So this contract, a 79361 call, traded 40,000 times. So that's a lot. This is a popular contract that was traded. So if I found a good setup on QQQ, I'd probably go with the 79361 because of the volume on that contract. Is very liquid. You'll get a fill right away. Right, always base this off a good setup. So if you have a watch list like this, look for flow with these tickers. Right, so for example, SPY, right? I always like to go with the high volume contracts. So 79435 call traded 81,000 times. Look at this one, 79434 call traded 149,000 times. It's crazy. 306,000. 79435 call. Insane. So this is a very, very powerful tool for you guys to use. And we do have a ton of improvements coming. This is just the first stage. So get ready. This is a great page to go back and look at previous data. If you want to search a certain day, for example, right? Let's say we wanted to go back to January 12th to February 12th. And we wanted to search. This is the data from that time. So, I mean, look at this. Within that period of time, someone bought 825,000 calls on Amazon. So that guy must be pretty green. So totally take advantage of this. Again, this is what I look for. Refresh my page. Calls, sweeps, greater than 250, bullish. And I always look for out of the money calls. Right? Anything that's in the money isn't signifying a big move soon. Out of the money calls are what you want to look for. Okay. That was a pretty decent coverage. I might just clip this YouTube video and post that. But does anyone have any questions? It's also always good to look at the call flow to the put flow. Right, if you're playing to the upside, you always want more calls than puts. That obviously that makes sense. Put to call ratio 0.72 is just this number in decimal form. Right, overall it's bullish based on this data. All right, guys. You're very welcome. If you have any questions or anything, you're always welcome to DM me or just ask in the Discord. Right, that's why we're here. So please ask questions. And yeah, Jerry just went live in analyst watch list. So if you want to go watch his watch list and his live commentary, if you have some extra time and you're looking to improve on your trading skills, go watch Jerry, new analyst to the group, and I'm sure you'll learn something. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I don't bore you out too much. Yeah. Have a great night, guys. I appreciate all you being here. And let's have a killer week. All right? You're very welcome. Please ask me questions also. I love when you guys ask me questions. It shows that you're learning. I hate seeing people fail. I was in your spot. I blew up my account multiple times when I first started trading, and it is brutal. I mean, blowing up an account is the worst thing because, especially when you don't have money, blowing up an account is killer. And it got me depressed when I first started. Totally. I'll be happy to admit that. So just, again, risk first trading. Go into a trade expecting to lose and understanding that I can lose X amount of money, not I can make this amount of money. You'll be so much better in trading. All right. So I'm gonna say that every single week and engrave that into your head. Oh, sorry, William. Let me cover pool. You asked me multiple times. I totally forgot. Okay, so just covering recent data. I mean, this has a great flag break, right? Sideways flag, broke out to the upside. It did, right? So generally, it moves the size of the flag, right, from the breakout, from the high, and it's about to hit that. right? So it has room to 480 at least. All right, this is the size from high to low, and it's testing that right now. Um, I mean, you could also take the fib retracement, do the reverse, and put on the 1618. All right, it's already through that. So next target would be the 2, which is lines up perfectly with that yellow line that I put at. And the target above that would be 2618, which is 498. All right. Yeah, Dan, trust me, we've all been there. Anyone that's traded for years has been there. So you just gotta size smaller, play the chart, not your profit and loss, and play quality setups only. Don't trade if you don't have to trade. Only take the good setups and be patient. And you will see consistent growth within your account. All right. If you have any questions about trading, risk, how you should position your trades, whatever, just DM me. I mean, I've helped people from complete beginner to now they run their own stock group from beginner to professional. Um, so please, if you need help, just DM me, DM C Bless. C Bless is an amazing trader. Amazing. So, as well as all the other analysts, not to discredit anyone, all the analysts in this group are unbelievable. So, you guys have great resources in front of you. Ask us questions. Of course, Dan. All right. On that note, I will be heading out of here and I will be uploading the dashboard video, which is just basically what we covered, but it's just in short video form in a little bit. All right.